Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So we'll just wait for everybody else to log on here. Ian, sorry about all the confusion. I'm glad we were able to catch you. Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear. I can't hear him either. Can you
I
hear
see
me?
your mic's on. I just don't hear him though. Hey, Raina. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Did you fix your noise, Ian? No. I can read your lips, but I can't hear you. Okay, we're just waiting for. Oh, there's Anna. Hi. Is it Anna or Anna?
Hello.
I think, is it Anna or Anna?
Anna. I don't know why I'm backwards.
Yeah,
Sorry.
down.
Upside down.
So we can't hear Ian, and Anna's upside down.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Ian, try talking again. I just upped your mic.
My mic? Let me hear back.
I can't hear you. I think we have everyone on tonight. Know if you want to play with your mic a little bit, Ian. I'm trying. Oh. Yeah, that's better. I wonder if there's a way. I think you can chat in here, Ian. There's like on the left-hand side, there's like a chat box. So maybe if you want to just use the chat box. Okay. So everyone just make sure you have your chat box open. Okay, well, I think we'll just get started. We've got everybody here. So I have everything pulled up. I'm just going to kind of be looking back and forth through the instructions like that. Hey, Samuel.
Hey, so I had to do it on my phone for whatever reason.
Oh,
like,
I can't hear you either.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Anyone else hear Samuel?
I can.
No, I can't hear anybody. What's going on?
I'm doing it on my phone, so it's like my phone. I don't think my phone picks it up well.
Oh, you're okay. I hear you now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we've got to do is kind of get to know you. So we'll just kind of go down. Whoever wants to start, you just need to share your name, your favorite thing about the course, your career goals, and any other additional information you want us to know about you. I guess I can start. I'm Tina Salomon. I am from Ohio originally, but my parents just moved to Tennessee, so I guess that's my new home. I've been married almost 2 years and have a 7-month-old son. My favorite thing about this course is I actually really like this kind of stuff. being online, the Google Hangouts is pretty cool. My career goals is I'm a medical assistant now, and I hope to become a nurse one day. That's me.
Awesome.
Cool. Casey, want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'm Casey, and I live in Nampa, Idaho right now, but I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho, so I've kind of always just lived in Idaho. And I went on my mission to Tennessee, so I love Tennessee. That's so fun. I got married like almost a year ago, and I like this class. I think the thing that has stuck out the most to me has been just how focused how focused seem to be on your target population and getting to know them and everything like that. That's something that's kind of stuck out to me. And right now I am a technician for an eye doctor, and so I'm able to like learn a lot that way about the health field, and it's actually really interesting. So as far as career goals, I'm almost done with I am on my public health degree, but I really like the eye doctor, so I'll probably stay there for a while. So that's me.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Anna, do you want to go?
Sure. I am Anna. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Something I love about the course is just like getting to know the population as well and seeing what I can do like to help them with their health and issues or things around, I guess, the community. I don't know what else to say. I served a mission in Washington, so Washington State. So.
Where in Washington?
Yakima.
Yakima. Oh, cool. I served in Seattle.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
That's cool.
Well, thank you. Let's see. You want to go? I have Fernando next. Want to go?
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm majoring on public health, and I live in Salt Lake City. I am a physical therapy assistant, and to get my degree so I can work for a non-profit organization for either for the state health department or the Red Cross or LDS Charities, something like that. I don't know.
Very cool. Thank you. Okay, we have Ian's in the chat box. So I guess I can just go ahead and read it. So he's from San Diego, California. He served his mission in Santiago, Chile. I'm probably butchering all of this. He's currently living in Ammon, Idaho. And he's 6 semesters into a public health degree, going into pre-dental. So that's really cool. Awesome. Thanks, Ian. And then we have, let's see, Raina.
So I'm Raina Miller, Falls, but currently living in Provo, Utah, where my husband's going to school. Right now, I'm just a medical assistant and working on my public health degree, but probably will stick as a medical assistant just because I like it so much right now. And I guess what I really like about this course is, you guys had mentioned, it's really focused on individuals in the target population and their really impacts them and their choices and cool, like a personal level.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And then we've got Samuel.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So I'm from Manan, Idaho, just like 20 miles west of Rexburg. I guess one reason I like this class, I guess, is kind of to see the importance of behavior, I guess, of people, like when we do like planning and program planning and implementation, stuff like that. I never would have thought too much about that until I think it's really cool that it brings it to light. Right now I work as a medical assistant in Idaho Falls. That's where I'm at. That's where we live right now. And I've been married 3 months, and we have a nearly 6-month-old boy. So
Cool. Thanks for sharing, everybody. Got lots of medical assistants in here. Okay, so part 2. Just so everybody knows, this has to be about 45 to 60 minutes. And I did start my timer, but a little bit late. But we're about 6 minutes in, just so everybody has kind of a time limit here. Or not a time limit, but you know what I mean. So we need to discuss how, or summarize how the theory of reasoned action and planned behavior model works. So that was in lesson 7 readings. Anyone want to do that or summarize it, or we can all kind of pitch in a little bit here? So this was the one where I have the chicken scratch here, but it has like the boxes here, which kind of points to intention. Discuss that.
yeah, I guess like so in I don't know. I just like think from arrow to arrow, but it's pretty much like where like a person's belief of a behavior kind of relates to their intention and how they behave. So like it's like I don't know. I think like first step kind of shows that the person that believes that the behavior leads to a certain outcome, and their evaluation of the outcomes can lead to their attitude toward the behavior, and then their attitude can lead to that intention, and then later on to that behavior. Things like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Kind of.
Anyone else have anything to add to that or any thoughts? No? Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it all
Go ahead.
back up. I thought I had it.
No, that's okay. So yeah, that's kind of how the behavior model works. Like everything you know backs up. Like if you start with intention and go backwards, or I guess the last one is behavior. Your behavior, like going backwards, stems from your intention, which then kind of like comes off of like your attitude towards the behavior, which stems from your beliefs. So that was perfect, Samuel. Okay, so then the second part of that is to discuss the processes and how they relate to the stages of the model. Does anyone want to elaborate? I wasn't quite sure on that one. That's exactly what it says. Discuss the processes and how they relate to the stages of the model.
Okay. The process is the same thing as the constructs.
I'm guessing, yes.
Okay.
It wasn't quite like very specific on that one, so I wasn't super sure.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that a lot of the constructs had to do with, well, obviously behavior, but I was surprised at how much it talked about the attitudes towards behavior and like how much it depended on other people and how much people do things because other people expect them to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that came up a lot. And so I guess if you're going back to the table, I think it goes back to the intention, like what's your intention behind the behavior change? Like, you know, is it for somebody else? Is it for yourself? I mean, there's just lots of reasons of why somebody might want to change or participate in those behaviors.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Anybody else? Any ideas?
It's kind of like, I guess I hadn't thought of like the importance of, I guess, like kind of what people think is called the subjective norm. Like you subject yourself to what you think is normal, or what you believe that other people think is normal. That's kind of like the doing the things. Um, I guess I'd say just, I don't know. Like for me, that's stuff that I think about all the time. If I were to do something like, oh, is this just kind of like a normal thing to do, or things like that, or like relating to behavior and stuff like that. I think that plays a big factor as well. Yeah, like she was saying before.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that I think a lot of it also just comes from grow up or how they grow up with like their social norms. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like more willing to do something if it's accepted by their social group. If we present something that they're not do or they don't agree with, then they're less likely. It just goes back to like the opinions of others, like we were saying, and if it's like accepted by their social groups.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, cool. Anyone else before I move on? Ian's trying. I can't hear him. Can anyone else?
No.
If you try to turn the tap off. Okay. All right, so part 3 is applying the models. So the first part of that is discussing what kind of interventions centered on the processes move people through the stages. So did we already say processes or concepts? Is that kind of interchangeable? So we discuss the interventions and then examples presented in our readings on how the model was used.
So is this from our book, or are we just supposed to make something up?
Well, sorry, these are kind of vague questions, I think. But it does say in the second part, discuss right out of the reading. But then the next part that we should go into is from the reading. It's the audio of Grace. Did everyone read that? Or not read it? Well, you could have read it, but there was like an audio of it. Grace's scenarios. Is everyone kind of on the same page here?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we need to discuss, let me just pull it up. This discuss Grace's scenario from lesson 7 foundation earlier in the lesson. So if somebody hasn't read it, just pull it up from lesson 7 foundation.
Okay.
Ask each group member to share their thoughts on each option. So I can actually pull it. I think I have it pulled up, yes. So I wonder if I can share my screen. I don't know anything about Googling.
You can.
Do you know how?
Yeah, so on the left-hand side, there's a green screen that has a white arrow on it.
Cool. Probably just. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I need to get. Okay, this is not working out for me.
Like an
Oh,
inception
yeah.
right there.
Okay, do you see that?
Yeah.
The rate Grace on her moral actions?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is what we're kind of talking about, whereas 1 is morally forbidden and 5 is morally permissible. So,
Okay.
I guess we're supposed to ask everybody, so I guess we can start. I guess I can start. So, my whole thinking on this Grace idea is I think all of them are morally forbidden, whether it's in like between 1 and 3 range, that varies. Only because if you're in an environment where you can mix up poison and sugar, which is weird, I think that she's taking that chance. Whether she knows if it's sugar or poison, you're still putting something in somebody's drink. So for number 1, Grace thinks the powder is sugar. It is sugar. Her friend is fine. I think that's probably more in like the 3 range. For number 2, Grace thinks the powder is sugar. It's toxic and her friend dies. Obviously, to me, that's morally forbidden. Number 1, Grace thinks the powder is toxic. It is sugar. Her friend is fine. I think that's more like number 1. She wants to poison somebody. And for Grace thinks the powder is toxic. It is toxic. Her friend dies. I would say number 1. But that's just me. Like, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. So I'll kind of just go down. I can't see who's talking or who's not because you're screen sharing. So I'll go. Let's see. We can start with Samuel.
Okay. So let's see. So what I think, like, for that, I think that would be, let me pull up my note for it. But oh, I took a picture. Let's see. But yeah, I think like for the first one where she does the sugar, she thinks it's sugar and it was sugar. I think I don't think that was any at all like morally forbidden. I thought it was totally fine. So I put 5 for morally permissible because that's what she intended. And then the result shows that she got what she intended. I guess she got that sugar. And then number 2, I put like 3 because she thinks the powder is sugar, but it's toxic and her friend dies. The only reason I put that is because she didn't think it was toxic when she did it. And then just like by accident, that's what happened. She didn't mean for that, I don't think. She did not intend to pick up the toxic stuff and kill her friend. So, and then for the last 2, I just like put morally forbidden because she purposely picked both of them up like they were toxic. So I just put them at 1. Like it's like she had the intent to kill. So it's like that ain't right. But that's what I put up there.
What about Casey?
I for the first ones, I thought that I don't remember what I put exactly, but I know that like for the first one, I think that that's morally permissible, and for the second one, I also do. But your point was really good about the location that she's in, or like if she's in an environment where there could be a crossover between poison and sugar. That's kind of sketchy. But I think like I was looking at the article that talks about the Grace thing and just how people in this case for the if they think that the powder is or no, what did it say? They forgive her if they accidentally poison her thinking that it's sugar, but oh wait, no, I'm getting this backwards. Anyways, the last 2 are definitely morally forbidden. I don't think that in any case you should I mean try to poison your friend. I don't know. I'm trying to. I remember I had a lot of thoughts about this when I read it, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it again. But
Yeah, that's okay. If you think about it like as we go on, just go ahead and butt right in, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Raina.
So mine were exactly the same as Samuel's.
Okay.
I thought they were more morally permissible. She didn't know it was toxic, and she was just thinking it was sugar. So her morals were more permissible.
Mhm.
Put the morally forbidden no. It could be toxic, and she was intentionally trying to.
Yeah.
But I really like how you and Ian talked about on what's going through these. So it's always kind of that, or did she not know kind of thing, like what was her intention?
Mm-hmm.
And going back to what Casey was saying, I think what you're trying to say is she like didn't know, but she accidentally, then they were less likely to forgive than if she gave her the toxin and her friend ended up being fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I have Ian next, but I can't see the chat box. If he puts something in the chat box, would someone just read it out loud?
I will.
Perfect.
He said, I thought the grace thing was interesting. One thing that stood out to me was that the scientists in the study thought that simply proving magnetic pulses can influence moral judgment in turn proves that the soul does not exist. And then he said, same. I put the same answers. I don't know who he was replying to. And then he said that claim by the scientist is a bit overreaching in my opinion. I think half of my thing is cut off. So I may have missed a couple words.
That's okay. We get the gist of it. Thanks for the
Okay.
chat box, Ian.
Sorry.
Okay, what about Anna?
So what I put was pretty much the same as Reina's and Samuel's. I just put that the first one is morally permissible. I didn't really think about the environment like you mentioned before. But before I even like considered those, I put for the second one I put that it is number 3 that is like kind of morally permissible or morally forbidden. It's like half there. And then for the last two, I put morally forbidden. So.
Perfect. Okay, I don't know what happened to my video, but it's all good. And then we've got Fernando.
So I can see your screen, but I think on the first one I put number 4 situation. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it will depend on the situation. If someone puts sugar into your coffee, if you know the person, I think someone that you don't know, or you don't trust, so that would be forbidden. But it will depend on the situation. And the other one, or 2,
Yeah.
if was an accident and the person died, if she didn't know it was poison, I think it's still okay because she didn't know. So for the last 2, it's forbidden. One, because obviously if she had someone is morally wrong, and the other one as well.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, thanks for everybody for sharing your your input on that. Are you still seeing my screen?
No.
Okay, perfect. So that turned off. I just don't know how to return back on my video. It's all good though. Okay, so we're actually gonna do the application assignment in this Google Hangout. So if everyone wants to go ahead, there's like a template. We see it's under application assignment. So it's called assignment template. So go ahead and download that, and there's 6 questions with several parts to it that we're just going to work together on, which is awesome. Get a freebie for homework. Okay, so just let me know when everyone has it pulled up.
Wait, so we do it together even though it says that it's an individual assignment?
So yes, as far as so under the relevance, which is what this meeting is, it says, I'll just read and maybe I'm just interpreting it wrong, just let me know. It says, read the instructions for the Lesson 7 application assignment together. Prepare to complete this assignment by allowing a group member to select one of their interviewees. Work together to identify the constructs from the interview questions and select which area the volunteer struggled with most. Then work together to design interventions driven by the model. Use the application assignment worksheet to walk through the process.
Okay.
So from what I understand, we're doing it together. Is that what everyone else got? Is that I was confused too. I saw on the actual application assignment that says to do that separately. So I was a little confused, but I assumed we were doing it together. If everyone thinks.
I don't know. I think it's confusing. Because it sounds like it's like one person does it and we like walk through it together and then the rest of us do it for our own. But I'm fine doing it all together.
Well, we are at like 28 minutes, so we'll do a little bit together just to fulfill the time requirement. So, I guess we can, let me see, my thing. So, we kind of
I
already.
think maybe.
So, summarize the theory of reasoned action. That was like the first thing that we discussed. So I guess making sure that we're almost doing that still. Does anyone want to just kind of go over that again and we can, write it? Or are we just going to do that one separately?
Sorry, say that again.
So number 1 is the first thing to summarize the theory of reasoned action. It's like the very first thing that we discussed on here. So we're just basically writing what we discussed. So we can kind of do that on our own. But
Yeah.
Number 2 is review the health interview questions and identify which questions specifically address attitude, subjective norms, perceived behavioral control. So we can do that together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Does anyone have the health interview questions pulled up by any chance?
I can get them real quick.
Oh, I have them too.
Okay, I have them pulled up.
Okay. Do you want to? You can screen share. or just read them all. There's quite a few of them.
You guys want me to screen share it? I don't do that. Can you guys see that?
Yes. Ooh.
Okay, so we're looking for ones that are about attitude. Is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, attitude's the first one, so let's just look for attitude first.
Okay. Okay. I think all the questions that ask about being willing to make changes, I think those are all attitude ones, like number 2.
So how willing are you, every time I talk, okay. How willing are you to make changes in your nutritional/eating patterns in the next 4 weeks? And then we need to look for objective norms. That would probably be like the ones that ask about the social, like your social circle and how willing.
Like number 5, like most of my friends,
Yeah.
there's norms.
Mm-hmm. Like number 6, most people in my social network want me to eat healthy in the next 4 weeks. That'd be one.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm just making some notes.
So the ones that say like how confident are you, or the ready or prepared, would those be perceived behavior?
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
that's what I would think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just those 3, the attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavior. Okay.
Sounds about right. Okay, does everyone have all of that down? We can move on to number 3.
Yeah. So we can
So,
go back and do these.
yeah. So number 3 is review the answers to the income interviewees. Identify one person whom you want to focus on for the purpose of identifying strengths and weaknesses within the 3 constructs area. So this is kind of the weird random jumbled text that I sent you guys. How I was like, can somebody just volunteer for this? So it's like telling us to focus on one person as a group, but I think we can even just do like subject even. Like mine, the strengths that or the weaknesses that mine had was like laziness or amount of time.
Yeah.
Did other people have that, or what was the weaknesses?
I thought this was her, and I saw me in the right.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, what did other people have for strengths and weaknesses?
Laziness was one of mine as well, and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess time wouldn't be a weakness. That'd be more of like
I think weakness was motivation.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one. That was also one of my strengths too, though, which was kind of interesting, like how motivated you were after this. So I guess that's something we can do on our own, but just to discuss it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fourth one talks about, it says in your own words, so I'm guessing that's another one we can do on our own.
I think weakness could be not knowing like exercises or what food.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Okay. Okay, we can let's go down to under reflection, because that's something we can all talk about. Let's see, did anyone have like the additional questions they would ask or change the question to better address the constructs? What did you guys think about that?
Fernando was my partner, and he added some questions.
Do you want to share those?
So maybe you want to share those. Or you don't have to. One of the things I remember that he said, I just pulled it up, but he said, what do you understand for the concept of wellness? So I thought that was a really good question, because if people are, if you're asking people these questions, but they don't even have an idea of what there's, like what we're even asking them. Like if you ask them about like different like aerobic exercises, that was an example that he gave. Like if you're talking about aerobic exercises and they have no idea what that is, it would be a really good way
Oh,
to
that's an awesome question.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
like where they're at.
Yeah. Because that determines like how they use the number scales. Like if they don't even understand, then they're gonna use lower numbers. If they understand a lot, they're gonna use higher numbers. Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have any questions that they would add or take off even?
So for one of the things that I was thinking about was in the end of the survey, whatever it was like it said something about ask the participant if they're willing to participate in a lifestyle changing experience. And that kind of confused the interviewees, because they're like, oh, are you gonna make me like try out for something, or
Yeah.
so I think I would just change that to like, would you be willing, like in general, are you willing to, participate in something, instead of saying like, are you like the question asked.
That's awesome. Okay, anybody else want to add before we move on to B and C? Okay, so we'll go on to B. What are the limitations with this model itself? What are the limitations of this model as it is used in an assignment? The model is talking about the interview, I'm guessing. So I think that's the question that Casey and Fernando kind of pointed out, was how much do they actually know about the concept of wellness? I think that works perfect as a limitation. It's like they don't understand it in the first place. That's a limitation in itself. My other opinion is it's just a number system. So we don't really ask them to explain things. They just give us numbers.
Yeah.
We don't really understand or get like the full reasoning on why they do or don't like something, I guess.
That's what I was thinking too when I was reading it, was just doesn't give you a lot of feedback on things that might help them as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a number. Like if they answered 1, not willing, like, well, what would make you be willing?
Yeah, exactly.
Does anybody else have any thoughts?
Going along with that, these
So does like body language count as well? Like how they're more honest. I feel like looking back in their videos, I noticed that their body language is kind of closed a little more when they're saying like, "Oh, I'd be willing," but then you just look back and it's like they probably, will find some difficulties. So.
That's true. Ian, you have anything over there in the chat box?
I keep trying, but it's like really delayed, so I don't know if you guys are hearing me.
I heard you that time. Sometimes it's a little spacey, just bad connection maybe.
Yeah, I heard you that time too.
Okay, perfect. So then, letter C is what did you learn from this assignment, and what are your thoughts about this model? Samuel or Fernando, did you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I thought it was pretty neat that they give you some target definition and how to modify some of the construct, example, behavior. Uh,
10 minutes ago, though.
there was one example of the if I the target population, like for example, uh, who wants to exercise and be the treadmill, will be walking in the treadmill and the context where he wants to do it, like at home or at the gym, and for how long, 30 minutes or an hour. So it's really specific on what behavior we want to change, how we want to change it, and the context. So that really helps identifying a behavior and changing it. So, and also, I like the formative beliefs like role play or panel discussions or discussions. That's why it's really important to be a really good home for our children, because they will want them to do something and we do other things, they won't be able to change as easier as we want. So it's kind of what I like.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can change it and modify it as you need it. That's perfect. Samuel, did you have anything?
Yeah, what was the question again? I can't get into whatever notes I made
Oh, that's
for
okay.
whatever reason. So I just gotta.
No,
Yeah,
it's totally fine. It was just about the health interview, and it's just asking like what you learned from this assignment or what your thoughts are about this specific intervention.
Okay. So I thought I don't know. I thought it was. I guess like in a sense that I don't know that it gave you the opportunity, just kind of like Fernando said, that like you can kind of ask more questions if you needed, things like that. It gave you the chance to do that. And for the intervention too, I think it was like I don't know, for just like trying to like watch their behaviors and stuff for the health interview. I think that's what it is. It was kind of added more light to not just like I guess it makes you think about not just what the words they say, like what numbers they give you, but it also lets you like realize more that their physical behavior can make a large difference on what their response is. Like for I did mine with my father-in-law, and he'd say something, but his physical appearance would be totally different, stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of interesting, kind of brings that to light. So
Yeah, the body language was kind of cool and neat to see, how it changed from question to question. Kind of made certain questions kind of made them feel guilty, and other questions made them feel good about themselves, and you could totally tell by their body language. Good point. Let me just look at the timer here. Okay, we're good on time, but as we're looking back, like at the assignments, before we kind of end, is there anything that you guys want to go over together? Any questions you had? Any other comments?
No, with the interventions, I'm guessing those are just like the ones that we put in the chart that we had an assignment for a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if anybody has anything else to add, speak now or forever hold your peace until next week.
I was just thinking, just for next week, I could do the group leader thing unless I know Fernando put his name in the Google Doc that he made. I don't know if he wants me to do it or if he can do it. I don't know.
Now let's.
Yeah, because I saw that you was volunteering, but that's fine. That's fine for me if you want to do it.
Okay. So yeah, I could do it next week then if that works out.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's.
And then
Samuel is lesson 8 group leader. Awesome.
And then you just post this on the assignment page, right?
Yeah. So when we end I guess it's called a broadcast, I'll just post it along with everybody's name that was in here today. I think there's a few other instructions that I have, but I'll just do that right after I end this, and we should all get credit for that, so no worries there.
That sounds good.
Awesome. Well, is everyone good with 6:30 next Thursday as well? Does 6:30 work?
Yes.
And thumbs up.
that works for me.
Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. Well, Samuel, you just kind of do the same thing next week at 6:30 then.
Sounds great.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
everybody. Thanks for joining. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.